I was visiting friends at the weekend and they said to me, Jerry, we liked the last video that you posted on Facebook, but what the hell were you talking about? You need to explain yourself more. So the last video I posted was about keeping your Google business profile up to date. So if you saw that video and you didn't have a clue what I was banging on about, then hopefully this video will clear things up. We're going to start with a little history, then we'll get on to where Google's business profiles come from and why, if you're a local business owner, they're critical to the success of your business. First, the history. This is the yellow pages, and back in the 80s and 90s, every home had a copy. The contents were different depending on where you lived, but essentially it was a directory of every local business in your area. And if you had a leaking pipe and needed a plumber, you'd grab your copy of the yellow pages, turn to the plumber section and find the number of a local plumber. You'd then head to the telephone, which is probably in the hall on the telephone table, and dial the plumber's number. Now the date on this yellow pages is 2016, and the final version of this paper directory was published in 2019. So what killed it off? The first computer I saw in the 70s was massive. It filled a whole room. They were predominantly used by businesses, education, research and defence. And the big change came in the early 80s when IBM launched the first personal computer. And over that decade and the next one, computers became more widespread. And in the 90s, they were all connected together by something called the internet. Now these computers sitting on the internet had valuable information on them, but you had to know where to look. There were some early websites that provided basic directories, structured by subject or topic, followed by some basic search engines. But it wasn't until 1998 and the arrival of Google that the game changed. Google had a better way of working out which computer on the internet had the most reliable information on the topic that you were searching for, and provided the results in a nicely formatted list or search engine results page. You only had to click on a link to access the information. Google pretty much put an end to all of those other search engines, and even today still has around 90% of the global search market. As a business, making sure that Google knows about you is incredibly important. Google started to include businesses in its mapping project, but the next big change came around 2014 when they launched the Google My Business service. This allowed business owners to add their business to Google Maps and manage their online presence. Now this next bit is important and it ties back to my original video. In 2022, Google rebranded Google My Business to Google Business Profile. So back to the history, and in 2015, Google made a change to the search engine and started to show something often referred to as the map pack in the search results. Google looks at what's typed into the search box. If it determines that the person is looking for a local business, it shows the map pack in the search results with up to 4 local businesses. So if I search using my mobile for a plumber in Brentwood, this is what Google presents me with. Now you can see some sponsored listings, but as I scroll down, we get to the map and the 4 businesses below. At this point, Google makes it really easy for us to call one of these businesses by giving us this little click to call handset symbol on the right. And if we want to look at more businesses, then we can click on this More Businesses link, and Google will take us to a Places page with all the other plumbing businesses in the Brentwood area. It's important to note at this point that the businesses that appear in that map pack on the search results page get the vast majority of clicks and calls. And again, it ties back to my original video on the importance of keeping your Google business profile updated, assuring you of the best chance of appearing in that map pack and receiving those valuable calls that we all need. So it was probably the map pack feature more than anything that signalled the death of the printed version of the yellow pages, and as I mentioned earlier, the final version was published in 2019. And with the vast majority of us owning a smartphone, the information is now at our fingertips. So in summary, the Google Business Profile is a feature that is provided for free by Google and is available to all local businesses. When optimised properly, it can be a fantastic source of free leads into your business. If you haven't claimed your business profile yet, then do it today and continue to follow me for tips on how to get the most from it. And if you need help understanding your particular profile and advice on optimizing it to get the best results, then contact me. I'll be happy to help. And don't forget, marketing your business effectively online could be the difference between success and failure.